to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tony Scorpio, with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
This is episode 141 of the Climb Together podcast. Got some great topics to talk about today. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Deception and I are both currently eating dinner. We had to postpone the podcast a little bit. It's finals week for me here at college, so you know, if you know, you know, it's crazy. There's a lot going on. I literally have had like 3 mental breakdowns in the past 48 hours. So we move on. We thrive, you know? But
Yeah.
after today, it's all over, and then I can just focus on working and being a good parent to my little sister. And that, great. Because I'll be working the same amount, but I'll have less school, which means I can do more gaming stuff. So you guys won't be able to get rid of me, is what I'm saying. Just so you know. So, let's start off with the statement from Activision that we got the other day. I want to try to find the actual statement that they released.
All I saw was on Charlie Intel.
Yeah, that's all I saw too. I think they did like official release somewhere.
Wonder if the Call of Duty Twitter did one. Because it seemed like Charlie Intel was pulling it from like a blog or something.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if Call of Duty. Sorry guys, I should have done this before, but I didn't. I thought I would just be able to like click, and be all fine all day. Oh, found it. I knew it was somewhere. Yay. Alrighty, a message from Call of Duty team. So I figured we could just read this and then break it down as we go, like we're in English class in high school.
Don't say that. People will tune out.
I know. So a message from the Call of Duty team. First off, thank you for all the feedback we have received over the last few months. Call of Duty has enjoyed long-standing success because of all of you, a passionate community that demands excellence and deserves nothing less. Well, you keep giving us less, so we're upset, understandably. We also know that for some of you, the franchise has not met your expectations fully. To be very clear, we know what you expect, and rest assured, we will deliver and over-deliver on those expectations as we move forward. Okay, so why... I think we all know why they're delivering on this now. For those of you guys that don't know, their sales have dropped, like, a lot for release week.
Yeah, there is a rumor currently. They haven't spoken on it because it would probably hurt their investors a lot if they actually told us. But there are a lot of rumors that like the sales apparently are definitely down compared to BO6 and MW3, which is not good because that's usually what investors look at is the last like 1 to 2 years. But I have heard that BO7 is actually like one of, if not the worst selling COD, like at least since like COD 4. Like it apparently is sales wise is not doing that great.
No.
Player count wise, it's doing okay. It's a step down from the last couple of years, but like player count's all right. Sales is where it's really not good.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, I don't know. I don't think that's what matters, but like that's what makes their decisions is money. And especially with a game like Black Ops, with Battlefield 6, there's finally competition. There's finally an FPS game that people can go to and play other than Call of Duty that don't enjoy the game or are mad at Call of Duty and want to play something else.
We've already gotten like numbers from BO7 compared to Battlefield 6. Apparently, since it's now been nearly a month since BO7 came out. Apparently, on average, between like all platforms, Black Ops 7 sales are down like 50% compared to Battlefield 6. Um, and I heard that at least on like PC, they're down as much as 63% compared to Battlefield 6. So, um, as much as even Battlefield 6 has started to have a little bit of a decline, it's not nearly as bad as BO7. BO7 has just been downhill basically ever since it got announced.
Yeah, which is like unfortunate because I feel like this game is definitely better, but we'll kind of go more into that
Yeah,
as
that's
we.
the sad part is this is one of statistically the worst selling CODs, and like the player count is down, but it's a game that's actually good.
I mean,
And that's just
the campaign is meh, but like it's like whatever. Like, will I play again? Maybe, but do I play campaigns to begin with? No. So does my opinion really have any base to it? No. But from people who do play campaigns, the campaign is not that great. But as someone who plays multiplayer, I love this multiplayer a lot more than Black Ops 6.
oh yeah.
And so it's just a shame. And same thing, like we saw it again with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. Like Modern Warfare 3 was definitely way better than Modern Warfare 2, and it's just like,
Yeah, but the sales were down
but the sales were
because
down.
everybody that didn't really everybody that didn't really think about what the actual game was just looked at it as like, oh, it's just an MW2 DLC for $70. I'm not gonna buy
Exactly.
that.
So yeah. Anyway, so they're saying that they know what we expect and they're going to deliver and over deliver. Personally, actions speak louder than words. That's something I've learned over my life, and that's something that I'll be applying here. Um, I mean, I'm still playing the game,
Yeah,
so like, obviously, like, do I care that much? No, I'm probably still gonna play, but I
I
mean, if
mean, I've
things,
said that the game is good. Like,
mm-hmm,
I know the sales are down and like the player count is down, but like, I think that that's a combination of like franchise fatigue because this game comes out every year,
mm-hmm,
and lately we've had more bad ones than good ones.
and it's the
Um,
game price rose.
yeah, the game prices are like they keep going up. Thankfully, COD has stayed at $70, but I don't know how long that's gonna last. Um, but it's just I don't know. Like I think it's a combination of like I said, franchise fatigue, and also it's just like I feel like people were just so burnt out with just how COD goes and how Activision is in general that even though BO7 looks and is a pretty good game, um, there's a lot of people that just didn't want to bother.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I feel like if BO7 came instead of like Cold War, we'd be like, "Holy crap, this game's awesome!" And it just skyrockets past Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had so many like up and down years and like um years where like we get rushed games out of Treyarch that don't really meet expectations. Sledgehammer put out Vanguard, probably the most forgettable COD of all time. Infinity Ward just keeps reverting everything that we love about this game every time they put out a COD. And like we finally get a game that's like what I would say most people are looking for in a COD game, and just nobody's here for it. So it's like it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like I think we all know some solutions to that up and downs, especially putting out a game every single year. That definitely puts a lot of pressure to. Oh,
Well, and the scary part of them putting this statement out right now and then being like, oh, we know what you want. We're going to deliver and over deliver is guess who's making the next game next year? Infinity Ward. And we know what they've done the last two times they put out a game. It's not been good.
nope, 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 nope. So anyway, continuing. With respect to Black Ops 7, we set our sights to deliver a spiritual successor to Black Ops 2, and the studios have poured their passion into making a great game that all of us are very proud of. One thing for us to say, more importantly, is up to you to try and judge for yourself. So, as it relates to Black Ops 7 and the future of Call of Duty, here are some important notes. You have the opportunity to play Black Ops 7 for free. Next week, we are opening the doors for everyone to jump in and play the Black Ops 7 multiplayer and zombies for a free trial, along with double XP weekends. We would like you to experience the game firsthand and decide for yourselves. They usually do that anyway before Christmas. Nothing new
Yeah, I
there.
mean, like
They do
we're
this every
used to
year
having
anyway.
free trials, but like the way with them announcing it like this though, because usually they just if they put out a free trial, they only announce it like 24 to 48 hours early, and it's usually not the entire game. It's like you get like 2 or 3 playlists, you get to play one zombies map, yeah. But I feel like honestly, with the statement they're putting out, and obviously there's a lot of PR talking here. It's Activision. Who knows what's actually going to happen here? But with the statement that they're already talking about a free trial, I feel like they might just straight up put the whole game. They might just be like, "Hey, you can try the whole thing for free." Like, I feel like that might happen.
Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of want to like try to like look at this without the PR glasses. Like that's what I'm gonna try to do. And put my see. I'm gonna try to see through the PR part of it, just because like
Yeah,
I do have an understanding of like why they're doing it like this. Um, just because they're trying to save their company, but also like you're like you're like trained to say certain things a certain way, and um, since I've kind of
yeah,
like had that training through my education, like I can kind of debunk it a little bit. But yeah, so like this first one is kind of like utter bullshit because they usually do a free trial anyway before Christmas so that people can they've done that for the
yeah.
past few years. So this is
We
not really
usually
anything
get
new.
free trials. The most common times for us to get free trials is like now, pretty early into the game, and like usually during a season or a season reloaded release, they'll
Yeah.
drop a free trial.
Yeah. Yep, so I don't know, this the first one's kind of bullshit. So that's really nothing. I do like the double XP weekend though. I always love double XP weekends. So I'm down for
Yeah,
that.
we have that right now, which is
Yes,
great.
sir. Right at the end of the semester. I know what I'm doing this weekend other than working, and that's playing Call of Duty and getting lots of XP. Anyway, continuing. And then the second one is we are committed to unprecedented. Oh my god, if I could fucking speak. Sorry, guys, my brain is fried. We are committed. We are committed to unprecedented seasonal support. Your continuing feedback will help shape our seasonal updates over the coming months. Season 1 is the largest live season ever, and we are just getting started. We won't rest until Black Ops 7 earns its place as one of the best Black Ops games we've ever made. I
Yeah, so
mean,
this is coming off the heels of obviously season one is huge.
yeah, a great
Season
season.
one is going to end up being the biggest season that COD has ever put out in terms of post launch content. That is not PR talk. That is facts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there have been plenty of people debunking. Initially everybody was like, "Oh, is that true?" But like, yeah, it's actually true. Black Ops 7 season one is going to be the biggest season of post launch content that COD's ever put out. But we all know what usually happens. They'll put out 2 or 3, maybe 4 seasons of pretty good content. Season 5 and season 6, it goes heavily downhill. Now, this is coming off the heels of rumors. Like Hope, who is a prominent Call of Duty leaker that we talk about
Yeah,
pretty frequently.
yeah, he's pretty credible too.
Um, he is very credible. Um, he put out something legitimately like 24 hours before Activision made this post talking about how he heard that because of the poor sales and all that, that a lot of the budget had been taken away from BO7 and that it might impact seasonal content output. Now, he came back after he heard some other things and Activision made this post and he said that to clarify, that should not affect the first 4 seasons. Because what he said was apparently the first 4 seasons were going to be pretty big, and then 5 and 6 would take a downturn. Now the bad part is it may cause uh it may cause possibly a Vanguard effect where maybe we only have 5 seasons and that's it.
Yeah,
But it might just cause the last 2 seasons to be quite bad. But the thing is, he also said something that we actually didn't know until we started talking about this post launch content, and it's that the apparently end game is supported through season 3. They don't know if they're going to do anything after that. I assume with the budget cuts, they probably won't. But Endgame is supported through season 3, and he heard that as far as he knows, that they were already completely ready to do big seasons 1 through 4, and that 5 and 6 are the only question. So the budget cuts shouldn't affect anything that much, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully everything is just fine and dandy. I don't know. We'll see.
I also
I
have to
want
get
to I
my
want to
food,
say I
so
want
I'll
to
be back while you read the rest of it and talk about it.
Okay. I like want to remain hopeful, especially because I just love this game. Sorry, I'm like still eating dinner myself, but I'll take a break while deception get this food. So I mean, but I do believe that they're gonna make some changes because they already have. I mean, especially with like the skill based matchmaking, everything like that. So I feel like changes will be made. I just don't think they're. I think they're they're over promising and gonna under deliver again. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I like to stay realistic. So going on to the point number 3, our strategy going forward is changing. So the first point is we will no longer do back-to-back releases on Modern Warfare or Black Ops games. The reasons are many, but the main one is to ensure we provide an absolutely unique experience each and every year. And then the second, which is like fair, because I feel like that's one of the biggest downfalls of Call of Duty, especially in the past few years, is just doing like for the past 4 years. I mean, they've had like 2 Modern Warfares in a row. One sucked, one was better, but one's campaign was better, the other one's campaign was worse. Then they did it again with Black Ops. Black Ops, it was just like a better version. Like the campaign was better in the first one, but um it was just like an updated game that you paid it was just like an updated game that you paid $70 extra for. Like it just like didn't warrant having an entirely new title. And I think that's the part like that's really just it was just a stupid decision on Call of Duty's aspect, like Call of Duty's part, because it really was just like one game and then like a sequel to that game, but it literally was just like an update. It was just like a big update to the game. Which I think is what caused a lot of anger because people were like, "Oh, I don't want to buy Black Ops 7 because I have Black Ops 6 and it's literally like the same thing." Which they're not entirely wrong. I mean, Black Ops 7 is better, but like it's not that much better to where like some people it's like not worth the $70 extra. Totally understandable. And then the second point is we will drive innovation that is meaningful, non-incremental. While we aren't sharing those plans today, we look forward to doing so when the time is right. So this could mean anything. This could mean um this literally is so vague. Like the statement is so vague, and I think that's the part that like I think is making people very like questionable. Is like there's just no sustenance to it. Like it's just like yeah, we're gonna change. It's like literally just saying we're gonna change, but we're not gonna tell you how. That's literally it. That's what they're doing. Um,
Yeah.
and so that's making it very difficult for people to like be like, oh yeah, I'll buy the game because you said you're gonna do this and I trust you. Well, we've been trusting them for the past decade, and it's just not been working. So moving on to
Well,
last pick.
the issue with meaningful changes and the way that they worded it, saying that they want to drive innovation that's meaningful, not incremental. Basically, they're trying to be like, we're going to try to make big changes instead of small changes
Mm-hmm.
in the future. And the issue is, and this is, I mean, this is a potential issue. It's not 100% an issue, but it has been an issue in the past. Is they have tried to make gambles and take leaps and make big changes that have just not went well at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, you look at things like um, the jetpack games. Advanced Warfare was, while I personally enjoyed jetpack games, it's jetpack games were a very split down the community type thing. It's like you had some people who really liked them and some people who hated them to the point they straight up didn't ever play them. Um, I mean, we've seen other things like the, I would say that the season pass model that they did over the previous DLCs was a big change they tried to make,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think a lot of people like that compared to the traditional DLC model. Um, it's just like, yeah, like I understand from their perspective, like that possibly making a big change that works out would be great, which is true. But they have to be careful because they have tried plenty of things, plenty of big changes in COD that have went very badly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like one of like the risks of business is you have to make big changes and sometimes it doesn't pan out, but I feel like since they get so much feedback from the community, like they literally could just have like one person just like one person's entire job is just to go through the internet and gather feedback, and that still would not be enough to like fully digest the amount of feedback that this game gets because of just how big it is and how like just how big the fan base is. At the end of the day, people are still
Well, and
fans
there's
of the
just so
game.
many types of, so many different types of players,
Mm-hmm.
and so many different things that people want.
There are
Because
people that like
they like
casual
earlier
or
they
yeah.
were talking about like we're gonna give you exactly what you want, and it's like that's cool. Like I like the sentiment, but not everybody wants the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like you could like Activision could come to me and be like, "What do you want?" And I tell them everything I want. And while that game would probably turn out to be a game that I would love, I I don't think everybody would love it.
No.
There'd be a number of people that have problems with it.
I mean, you're not gonna please
Um,
everybody, but I feel like like if you gather enough information and enough feedback, I feel like there's a lot of there's just a lot of like common denominators and a lot of overlap that would be beneficial to the game. Because some people like
I
they
mean, I think them starting with the matchmaking was big.
yeah, that was huge. That was a big
I
change,
would.
and
That's one example of a big change that went really well. Is them going back to the classic matchmaking. Um, I think that was fantastic, and personally, like that was a make or break thing for me playing this game. Um, and I will say it. I said it. There was some controversy at the beginning of season one, which we'll get into our thoughts about season one. But there was some controversy about season one because they put the standard playlist at the top of the playlist section in the game.
mhm,
Um, which that's not extremely bad because all the other playlists are still open matchmaking. But the issue is now it's at the top, so all these casual players that just want to jump in and play one real quick, that's the first thing they're going to click. And if they're not thinking about it, they're getting thrown into SBMM.
yeah,
And I said it when that happened, and I'll say it on the podcast so we have proof if it ends up ever happening. If they rug pull us and they take away all the open matchmaking and they go back to the old SBMM system, the second that they do that, I am not going to play COD anymore.
I think
It's
that's
over.
gonna be a lot of people are not gonna play COD anymore because of that.
And I'm not even talking about, oh, I'll still play zombies. Like I will straight up stop playing the game entirely. I'll uninstall it.
Yeah, I think I just don't think they understand like the. Hopefully, I mean, I hope they understand the quantity and like not the quantity, but like the. I hope they quantify, the impact of these results because they're just really important changes to make in order to. Because it's not as much they have to gain a new fan base; they have to recapture the fan base that they already grew. So they have a lot of making up to do, and it is easier to gain someone's trust for a first time than it is for a second time or for a third time. And every single time you have to regain someone's trust, it gets harder and harder and harder. And that's the same way with developers and gamers, Like, yeah, you really have to work for it.
Well, that's exactly what the case was with the matchmaking.
Yeah.
Is because we're still talking about it right now.
Mhm.
Like even when they first put it out in the beta, while it's great, while it was awesome that we got it, there were plenty of people who were skeptical. They were like,
Mhm.
"Okay, we got this, but
So are you
like,
gonna put it in
what's
the
the
actual
catch
game?
here?
Yep.
Like, is it only going to be in the beta? We're only going to get one playlist in the beginning of the game, or we're going to get this playlist for like 2 weeks and then they delete it forever, and then they changed the matchmaking entirely, and we're still skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
This entire time the game's been out and we've had this matchmaking in every playlist except for one. The whole time there's still been a lot of skepticism. A lot of people that are like, okay, when is this gonna end? When are they gonna rug pull us? Like, so yeah, them getting our trust back is tough, but I do think that while I'm still scared about Infinity Ward and what they might do with MW4, if we do get the open matchmaking the entire time in Black Ops 7, I'll be pretty confident that at least in non-Infinity Ward games, that'll probably be the case. We'll probably have that same matchmaking.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that they have a lot to make up for. Just to kind of finish off reading what we've got here. To be clear, the future of Call of Duty is very strong, and we believe our best days are ahead of us given the depth and talent of our development teams. We have been building the next era of Call of Duty, and it will deliver precisely on what you want, along with some surprises that push the franchise and the genre forward. We look forward to welcoming you in, listening to you, and moving forward together. I think my main thing with this, as I think that they're like I think they're over promising, honestly. Like, I really don't believe that like they can make all the changes that they need to make in order to bring the game back, in my opinion. Because I have like hypothesis, I guess is the best word for it. I have a hypothesis on like what they need to do to bring the game back to like a certain form. I think part of it is like um ditching the really like Fortnite like camos and stuff. Uh Decreasing the amount of microtransactions and beefing up the battle pass. I feel like they were just spending too much money on this game. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people because they want to sport like the cool shit, but they just like can't afford it. Um, and especially with the economy going back down, like it's just like a really important thing to think about as like a business. Is like, come on, like, and especially them admitting that they're using a lot of AI. It's just like, okay, so you're literally throwing this into an AI that you paid $2. That's like worth two. Like they're creating this for 2 cents, and you're expecting us to pay $20 for it. Like, come on, let's be real.
Well, and I mean, that's like the thing about what you said about how you don't feel like they're going to deliver on this message is that's kind of the point of the way they worded this entire thing is there's no way that they can't really deliver. Like, the way they worded this is like foolproof. It's like whether they deliver in a big way or a small way, they're going to deliver somehow. And the catch is that if we go back and we talk about, oh, you didn't do all this, you didn't make big changes, they're going to look at this and they're going to be like, what about this says that we didn't do anything? Like, you can't tell us that we underdelivered.
Yeah, I think that's why they were so vague. It's because that they could overpromise and under like they gave them like a scapegoat to like overpromise and underdeliver. Because like someone who
Yeah, because now, like, when Infinity Ward comes out with MW4, if it's like what we talked about and what has been leaked, then we're gonna look at this post and be like, "So you just let Infinity Ward release this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's an Infinity Ward game. It's a big release."
I just think that they PR'd the proof this statement.
Oh, they did.
And
They
I
did.
wouldn't, as a
Like,
player, I wouldn't get your hopes up too much. I do think that they're gonna improve parts of the game. I do think that
I
it's
think that at
more.
least for BO7, that things should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just more worried about after BO7.
They're definitely going to like deliver enough for me personally. I think, just because I just love this game and I never stop playing it. It's just like so ingrained in myself that I just like I don't know. I can't explain it. Like I'd really have to be pissed off to never play this game again.
I mean, I'm telling you right now. I will say that if Infinity Ward keeps the matchmaking the same, I think I could be persuaded to give MW4 a chance. But if they go back on the matchmaking and MW4 if it releases in the way that people have been leaking it, nope, I have not played it.
Yeah, that's understandable. So, I think I don't know. I think it's something to be hopeful for. I think there's like a lot of potential here. Um, I just like wouldn't get your hopes up on like certain aspects of it. Like, I definitely think they'll make a lot of small changes. I'm just not so sure on like the big changes that we want to see as like as a community that we, because it can be like, because they could always use like the, oh, we didn't realize that that was what you guys wanted, but we tried. We tried. There is no try. There's only do and do not. So, fucking talk to Yoda about it. Anything that you'd like to add on that? Just like before we move on to the next.
No, I think we pretty much covered it. I mean, like I said, I think BO7 is going to be fine unless something drastic changes. But
Fair
I'm
enough.
just worried about what comes after BO7 because currently it's rumored. Obviously, it's all but confirmed that Infinity Ward is making the next game with MW4. But the question is, what's going to happen after? Because we originally thought that it was going to be somewhat close to MW4, and they were going to keep doing this 2-year cycle, back to back, same franchise. But they're not going to do that this time. They've confirmed that. So, question is, what's coming? The only current rumor we have is the one we've had for the past couple years now, and that's that Sledgehammer is going to put something out after Infinity Ward, and it's going to be completely different. What is it going to be? No idea yet.
Alrighty.
But that's what we know.
Yeah. So moving on, we've got something that's pretty epic that we just discovered. Well, Deception discovered and sent it to me, but I mean that's kind of how the podcast goes these days.
Yeah.
We have what is possibly the rarest Camo Call of Duty, unlocked by Reed Boy. It's where you unlock every camo for every gun and every mode.
He unlocked all 16 Master Camos and got this. We had no idea this was in the game, by the way.
Nope.
They never said
Nope.
anything. They did say something about secret camos, but we didn't think about this. Yeah, this was revealed out of complete surprise. Like, he was working on Warzone camos because Warzone finally came out and he could do Warzone camos. He was working on being the first person to get all the Warzone Mastery camos, and he got them all. And this popped up, and everybody in his chat was like, "What is that? What's a Nexus Horizon?" And I mean, nobody had any idea this was a thing.
Nope.
But it's honestly like a really cool looking camo.
It is really sick. Like, she's purty, real purty. I do say so myself. If I do say so myself.
Well, and what's interesting is one of the Treyarch devs, um, he replied to this and he was like, "Well, we did say that there would be secret camos," and he put camos with an S in it, so that raises the assumption of there has to be more secret camos. And the first thing that people are assuming, because this was such a big talking point, is that there may be a secret camo for getting every weapon in the game to Prestige Master level 250. And that's what Reed Boy's working on now. He's working on getting every gun to Prestige Master level 250 to see if there's another new camo.
I think that'll be just really cool to see as we, see. Because I mean, I'm sure there's probably people that have gotten them. They just didn't realize they've gotten them. So it won't be until like content creators or just like people that are like in the know, I guess.
I don't even know how many guns people have Prestige Master level 250. I can tell you I don't have any.
I don't have any. I think that
I'd say
I'm
most
assuming
people
that's
don't have
probably
any.
one
I
though.
think Parasite said he had like 6. I think Reed Boy has like 9 or 10. So I would anticipate it being at least another couple weeks before we see anything about a secret camo.
I agree. Just
But I
because
don't know. Reed Boy works
250,
fast.
250 on all guns is like insane.
Reed Boy works fast though. This guy
Mm-hmm.
is unbelievable. I remember I think the first time he ever was the first to unlock a mastery camo was like in MW3, and like ever since then he's just been dominating camo grinds.
Yeah.
He is so
Yeah.
fast at
First person in
unlocking
the world to
camos.
unlock Interstellar in Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, I think that was the first time he was ever the first person to unlock camo, and he
That's
did it so
7.1
fast.
million views as this tweet. Even Call of Duty
Yeah, I
responded.
remember when this came out, it was like it was insane when this came out because
Now go
everybody was
shower.
like everybody didn't really know how long the camo grind would be because obviously the camo grind was a lot different in MW3.
Mm-hmm.
But like he got it so fast, and I mean I think a lot of people were surprised that somebody could get it that quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
And he's just been on it ever since then. I think he
oh
was
yeah.
the first person to unlock basically every BO6 zombies camo. And then and now he's done all the BO7 camos first, I believe. He was the first person to get Nexus Horizon.
Yeah.
So if somebody's gonna get a camo first, I think he's the front runner.
I agree. I think that's he just people need to I don't know. People just need to touch grass and like I don't know. It's my opinion. Um but yeah, so that's really cool. Maybe one day I'll get it. We'll see. Um moving on to the CDL. First of all, CDL League Pack is now in the store, and I think we went over them. I think there's only like a few of them that are actually like good. Some of them are still kind of plain and bland and whatever, but I mean, I guess that's kind of like how it goes, I suppose.
It's kind of like what's really weird is like usually there's a pretty good spread between all the camos
Mm-hmm.
and all the operator skins. It's like there's some of them that are universally good and some of them that are universally bad. But like I don't know if it's like the way that they did them this year, like because they all kind of work on the same template. But like there are some of them on the home side that are quite good, and some that are really really bad. But like most of the away ones are actually pretty good.
Yeah, I
I
think
hate
it's
to
just a
say it
dark. I
though.
think it's just like the darker color.
I hate to say it though, but for the first time ever, and honestly, I think this might be one of probably the worst set that's ever come out since CDL camos became a thing. I think Optic has the worst. Everything about Optics is just bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's maybe hold up.
Like Optics away jersey is literally just all white. Like there's no green anywhere. The black away jersey or the black home jersey is just all green or all black. There's like barely any green, a little white, and the camo is basically just black, gray, white, basically no green. I'm
Yeah,
just like, what happened here? Like,
I'm
because there are
trying.
some of the camos and some of the operator skins are actually pretty good. Um,
Yeah, I
but
found like
man,
a little
Optic
video.
is just
I found a
Optics
little
are
video
just they're
going
real
through it.
bad.
This is French. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I feel like they're like really. I don't know. I don't know. Like Optic. Like what is going on here, dogs? I like the purple like
Yeah, like
hat
you're
on
telling me that
Gorillas.
Breach's skins look pretty sick, and then Optic just has no color at all.
Yeah, I do like Thieves. I like the pants on Thieves. I do like Breaches though. Um, they have yes.
And even Falcons has got way more green than Optic.
Yeah,
I'm just like sitting here wondering what went wrong. Like there had to be something that went wrong with Optics skins. There's no way that they looked at that and they were like, yeah, that's a cool Optic skin.
Yeah, you fuck with it. I like rockers too. I just like the dark. I just like purple. I like the 08 rockers. I like the dark purple with the black. It just always looks the same thing with the girls. Like the dark purple and black always looks good together in my opinion. Like Surge's is pretty cool with like the cam, like the shade. Yeah, I don't know. I really like breaches. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Their
they always
camo's
do the
fucking slab.
purple teams good. Like I think every year Ultra has had like one of, if not the best, skins from CDL.
I really like breaches, especially with like the face mask on it too. Like, oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So kind of going into the first weekend, uh, bringing back an oldie but a goodie, the CDL website. I haven't used this bad boy in a minute. So we had Friday. We had 3 matches Friday. We had Texas versus Falcons, 3-0.
Yeah, it it wasn't close.
No. Let's look at like the breakdown. 250 to 154, 6-4. Search and Destroy was kind of close, and then Overload. It was just like a blow. It was and like the
the
thing.
only this Optic team is basically the same that they've been basically
Yeah,
every season.
dominant.
And it's the Search and Destroy is the one game mode that like they look a little bit human in, but like the respawns they're just unbeatable.
Yeah.
They're unstoppable in respawn.
Oh. But I mean,
And they have been
with
far and away the best team in Overload. Like we'll see it when we go look at the rest of the Overload scores. Like a lot of Overload games in this game, Overload is a great mode to watch. It's incredible, especially with like some of the changes they've made where like now the ball holder only has a pistol, and then like
mm-hmm.
now there are like overtime rules where like if somebody is holding the ball or the EMP or whatever you want to call it, if somebody's holding it when the timer runs out, they add like 30 seconds. So like it gives them an extra opportunity to maybe get a score. There have
Mm-hmm.
been some crazy plays happen already. Awesome game mode. Love Overload.
I do like the changes they made to it.
But when you see like some of the other scores, they'll be pretty close. It'll be like 3-2, 2-1, 4-3, 4-2. Optic just dominates every Overload they play. They beat Falcons 4-1, and I think in the other match they had this weekend, they won like 6-1. Like they are just so good at Overload.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then we had the Boston Breach versus the Ravens, 3-1. Then we had LA Thieves versus the Vegas.
Oh,
Hayes
dude,
Vegas.
dude, you need to see if you can pull up a clip of when they played Overload, because the ending of the Overload between FaZe and LAT was incredible. Like the ending of that Overload game was the first time that I looked at Overload and I was like, yeah, this needs to be permanent. Like this is incredible. And I just know that like if we got one of those in the first weekend, the Overload is just gonna be great to watch all season.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Because granted, LAT did beat FaZe 3-0, but like it was a close series all around. But like, man, the Overload is incredible. The ending to the Overload was nuts. See, they're in the overtime phase right now because somebody had the EMP, and so it goes into like a 30-second sudden death, like overtime for them to score. But then, like, that's at the end of the first side. At the end of the second side, at the very end of the game, it turns into like an S&D where you only have one life. And like, there are a couple bugs with it they need to fix, which I think they've already worked on fixing them. But like, dude, the ending, it was just the Overload is just crazy. Like, it is such a good mode.
Here. Oh, well, fucking load. What the fuck? I need to stop scrolling on fucking anything with the word phase in it on live. Like it just doesn't ever end well. But that was sick.
But yeah, it was a 3-0 to LAT, but it was a pretty close series. It wasn't like FaZe was just getting stomped, but that Overload ending was by far the highlight of probably the entire weekend. That just that that Overload moment right there was like that moment when Optic played FaZe in Uplink the first time in Advanced Warfare. Like it was like that. It was a moment where it's a new mode. Nobody really knows if it's gonna be good or not, and then something like that happens, and you're like, "Yep, this mode is goated."
Which is good. And then we had Koi versus Heretics for 3-2, close game. For the first start out to Saturday. And something
Oh
I
yeah.
do like though is like MA is fine. You know the MA brand I guess is finally like losing its curse. I say that and then they went 3-2. 3-0 against the Surge.
It was
Then
a
we
close
had
series against Vegas.
yeah. And then we had 3-2 from Rocker to Cloud9. And
Dude, I'm
then
not gonna lie, like I mean, granted, like you see that they lost to Optic 3-1, but not gonna lie, G2 Minnesota looks pretty dang good. Like I really think that they're probably the best team outside of the top four. They might even be on par or better than FaZe right now. They are they are a very good team.
yeah,
Their 3-1 loss to Optic doesn't look that good, but it was a pretty close series. I think they won the search pretty convincingly.
yeah. Hold on, let me
Um,
see. I mean, honestly, like when you play against a team like Optic, like it's a really hard measurement of how good of a team you actually are, just because of how
well, because
dominant
Optic is so good at respawn.
Optic is
Oh no, they
just
did. They won the opening. Because I remember like everybody was looking at Optic and they were like, "Oh, we're Optic finally not that good at the end of the hard point?" Because like they didn't really do that well, and then they had to come back from like 3-0 down to Minnesota and surge to win. But then it was just all Optic after that.
yeah.
I mean, they got that S&D win. 3-0'd them in Overload. Like I said, Overload is nuts for Optic. They're just too good. At Overload right now. They've definitely got it on lock.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dominated on Exposure Hardpoint. Um, which they did this, by the way. This was a change that was made in season 1 that I don't think a lot of people have realized yet, but they actually changed the exposure to where they opened up one of the rooms on the map and put a hill
Yeah,
in there, which seems to be good. I think a lot of people like it.
that's good. Well, wait and see, I guess. How these teams play this weekend. This weekend's matches
Yeah,
are
Optic finally had an undefeated opening weekend in the CDL.
yeah.
That's never happened. Also,
Finally,
this
Jesus.
them beating Falcons in the first series. That's also the first time that they've won an opening series in the CDL. They have never started a CDL season with a win.
Damn, really?
Yep. So they are 2-0.
Okay, okay.
It's looking like it's all Optic early.
Hey, way to be, way to be. Love to see that. So then moving on to this coming weekend, starting tomorrow actually at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Falcons versus Ravens, and then we'll have um Rocker versus Breach, and then we'll have Surge versus Koi, and then Saturday we'll have M8 versus
That is going to be the
Thieves.
highlight
I think
of
that
this
is gonna be a
weekend.
great
Is
that is gonna be a great match.
Gentlemates versus Thieves. That is going to be a really good one.
And then we have Optic versus Miami. Then we have Surge versus Cloud9. Then Sunday, kicking off with Falcons versus Breach. I think that might be a good game to watch as well. I feel like they're kind of on similar levels. I think this might be the chance for Falcons to really prove themselves as a team. We'll see though. Then we have Heretics versus Cloud9, and then we have Koi versus Vegas. And then next week, then we have a little bit of a break for the
Koi versus
holidays, and then
Vegas
we're
will
back.
be big too, I think.
Yeah. Then we have a little break for the holidays, and we'll be back January 9th. So when that time arises. But, with the way that the first weekend went, there are a lot of rumored roster changes. Which is
Nothing has
definitely something.
happened yet, which kind of baffles me after people were making a big deal about it. But
Yeah,
there are rumors that maybe roster changes will happen before Major 1. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't really agree with it. Like, in my opinion, unless something drastic has happened, I don't think you should make a team change before Major 1. I
no.
think all these teams should try to stick it out through at least Major 1. Like, if there's like a heavy disappointment or something goes seriously wrong, make a change. But I don't know why you would want to change a roster this quick.
I think a lot of people, I don't know, I think most teams won't, but there might be one or two changes just based off of maybe not team chem, but maybe not in game team chem, but out of team chem. Because you really don't know, sometimes when you have a team and you have players and stuff, obviously, because it's a team, you really don't know how they're going to react to a loss until after they lose. Especially when you haven't teamed with them, not on a scrims is one thing, but an actual league match is different. So maybe there were some reactions that were just poor and negative towards the team, and they just decided that they didn't want the person on their team, which totally happened. It totally happened. So we'll see. We'll see.
It could happen. I mean, look at what happened with Optic and Pred last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not it's not off the table, but I mean, if there's nothing drastic happening, I don't think any team should make a change this early. I just feel
Premature.
like as a team, you're just not giving yourselves enough of a chance.
Yeah, I feel like it's just premature. 100%. But we'll see. Yeah, so Deception to end off the podcast. We've got 8 minutes left before we hit an hour. Want to tell us about your race from last week?
Yeah, so I'll admit I initially was going to be going into this a little bit happier. If we would have done the podcast yesterday, I would have been a lot happier about it than I am now. But after some developments, I have some good news and some bad news about this. But I will say, last week was a great week of racing. Turns out all I needed was one win to get more because I won again in the
Hell
trucks back to
yeah.
back. Swept the stages again too. It was 2 perfect races in a row, maximum points. Felt really good. Saturday wasn't amazing. I was struggling with the car basically the whole race, but still salvaged a pretty good finish. I ended up getting fourth, but the bad news is from now on, at least for a while, there will be no more updates on racing because due to low attendance and just kind of the lowering interest in the game, we have decided to cancel the rest of the season in both Cup and Trucks on PlayStation. Xbox will be continuing because in the league there are a lot more Xbox people, but we just haven't been seeing enough of a turnout. And last night we ended up having to. We initially were going to suspend the race because it was. We initially only had 3 people for PlayStation,
Jeez.
and then We just ended up making the decision because we've seen attendance declining over time. We just made the decision to call it, and that's going to be it. It's sad because like I know that like NASCAR 25 is definitely not kind of up to par on expectations, but the bones are there for the game. The game is good at its core, but there's just not enough to be able to sustain a league that like people want to race in all the time. Um, and I think we're just gonna have to wait probably till the next game to get a better opportunity. Um, because obviously like, there's factors like no cross play that also factor in. But just had to wait till next year. It just like it makes me sad because for one, I was finally catching some momentum there. And while there wasn't a ton of competition for me, as it stands, if we were, I don't think we are going to, but if we were to crown a champion based on the season that we ended up getting to put in before it got canceled, I would be the champion in Cup and Trucks. I was leading the points in both series. Um, so I was catching some momentum, but not gonna see where that goes now.
Well, I'm sorry that it didn't end the way you wanted it to. I think if you had a little bit more time or just maybe a few more races, I think you really would have just solidified that little like spin you were going on, and it is sad to see that that game just doesn't have like the sustainability as in the player
I
base to
just wish the
continue.
game. I feel like if the game was cross-play, that would immediately make it a lot better. It's really rough, especially for our league because like obviously we started in Forza.
Hmm.
That's when everything started, and obviously Forza up until very recently has only been on Xbox. So most of the people in there are on Xbox. We did our best to get as many PlayStation players as possible, and we actually had good turnout for the first couple races, but it died off so quick. Just a product of how the game is in general, I think. But we'll see. We'll see next year. I hate being one of those people because that's how sports games are usually. It's like, oh, there's always next year, but like, I genuinely am confident in iRacing. I think they'll put out a much better product next year, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, everything goes the way it's planned. But so that's gonna be it for the podcast today, folks. Okay, anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in to this episode of the Calamity of the Podcast. I have been your host, Tony Scorp, here with my co-host Deception. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys follow us on Twitch. We stream this live at twitch.tv/tonage_scorp and twitch.tv/deception276. And if you guys are watching live, make sure you go check it out on YouTube where we have the previous episodes. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Tonage Scorp. And if you're watching, like the video, always supports. And then comment down below some of your opinions on some of the topics we talk about. Maybe we'll be featured in the next one. Yeah, so thank you guys so much. See you guys next time. Peace.